What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at some new Untamed cards which are going to be coming along in Mass Mutation. I'm quite loving the fact at the moment that we've got a whole bunch of new Keyforge cards to talk about, and you know my rule by now. When new Keyforge cards come out, I'm going to show you them and I'm going to tell you all about them. We've got some new Untamed cards, so let me show you them and tell you all about them. And let's not bury the lead on this one. Let's go straight away with one of potentially the most exciting cards we've seen so far. It's Keyfrog. Now, on the face of it, Keyfrog is a 2-power, 0-armor creature. No elusive, no skirmish, etc. No play skill, no reap skill, no fight skill. It is just one step, well, maybe 2 steps above Toad. And I have called Toad the worst card in Keyforge. And incidentally, I showed my working, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Toad's got 1 power and can't reap, so it has to fight, but it's only got 1 power. Sad face. Keyfrog at least has 2 power, and it doesn't do anything until it's destroyed. But when it is destroyed, you may forge a key at current cost. Oh. Yeah, that's good. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have key forging creatures very much at all. We've seen plenty of key cheating cards that are actions and all of that malarkey, but in terms of creatures that work as key cheating, we've seen exactly one. And I'm assuming most of you can probably name it because, well, it's the only one we've seen. It sees a lot of play. It is Chota Hazri. Chota Hazri is a 3-power 0-armor creature, and when you play it, you lose 1 amber. If you do, you may forge a key at current cost. Is Keyfrog as good as Chota Hazri? No, it's not. You see, the reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's going to be very, very rare that you actually get to forge a key with Keyfrog. I'm sure you will occasionally, but the chances of actually forging a key with this are very, very slim. Let's say, for argument's sake, your opponent's got a Poison Wave. Poison Wave is a card that deals 2 damage to each creature in play, yours and your opponent's. This will destroy a Keyfrog and let you forge a key at current cost. If your opponent is a good player, or an average player, or a mediocre player, or has red Keyfrog, and you've got enough amber to forge a key, your opponent is not playing Poison Wave. Now, there are going to be exceptions to this. If they can take out your Dusk Witch and your Ember Imp and they're ahead 2 keys to 0, so they're getting rid of a whole bunch of super annoying cards of yours, and they're not pushing you close enough to be able to win the game for it to matter, so they can afford to let you forge a key, there'll be the odd turn they do it. But make no mistake about it, there are going to be plenty of games where you bench Keyfrog and your opponent waits until you cannot forge a key, then destroys Keyfrog. Game over, man. Game over. I adore the design of Keyfrog. I love Keyfrog. But the reality is, it's not going to work that often. When I do see it working is when your opponent plays cards like Wild Wormhole. You see, Wild Wormhole is an awesome card that lets you just blindly play the top card of your deck. And there are going to be times you play that and you end up hitting Poison Wave or Gateway to Dis or some other card that destroys Keyfrog. But again, a good player, if they know they've got Gateway to Dis or Poison Wave or a card in their deck that will destroy Keyfrog, and it's not in their discard or their hand, so they know it's in the deck, they're not going to play Wild Wormhole. Not unless they absolutely have to. Adore the card, don't think it's going to work very often. But how about another creature? How about Gloriana's Attendant? It's a 1-power, 0-armor creature with no skill. It literally could not be weaker. But it's got enhancements. So Gloriana's Attendant, not particularly good. However, I do like the fact that it brings in 2 amber. It's got 2 amber enhancements, which means by virtue of having this card in your deck, 2 other cards in your deck will have amber enhancements, although to be fair it could be the same card has 2 amber enhancements, but there will be 2 more amber symbols in your deck by virtue of having Gloriana. And this turns the card into a glorified Dust Pixie. Just to be clear, I like Dust Pixie way more than I like this, but I do like this. And actually this is clearly a mutant version of Dust Pixie. It is a mutant. You look at the design of the card, this is a Dust Pixie that's got hold of some dark amber. But I like Dust Pixie way better. Dust Pixie just has a double amber bonus. That's what it does. You play it, you get double amber. Your opponent probably destroys it right away, but if they don't, maybe you can reap. But one of the things we see with Dust Pixie a lot is Nature's Call, because they're in the same set. You play Dust Pixie, gain 2 amber, play Nature's Call, gain an amber, pick up Dust Pixie, play it back down, gain 2 amber. Ha ha ha! I will say the fact that you don't have the amber printed on you does mean that Infernus becomes weaker, although generally speaking, because of the amber bonus, Infernus actually becomes way better when playing against Mass Mutation generally. Because of enhancements, more cards will have amber bonuses, but generally speaking, Gloriana's Attendant is a better Infernus target for you, not the Infernus player, than Dust Pixie. But I do just see this as a weaker version of Dust Pixie. 1 power, 0 armor does not mean it's going to work very often. It does not mean it's going to be particularly good. It's going to be destroyed a lot. It's not going to win any fights. It might draw some fights against 1 power creatures, but it ain't going to win any. It's not good. It's good because it brings in the enhancements. I just get sad that it's not a Dust Pixie. Now, presumably there is a card in Mass Mutation that is Gloriana, because Gloriana's Attendant is the card, and the flavor text, the Dark Amber will set my fairy brethren free, Dark Queen Gloriana. So it seems like there's some kind of Dark Fairy Queen, Mutant Fairy Queen, whatever you want to call it, called Gloriana, and it might not be in this set, but there's a decent chance that it is. Let's talk about one more card before we go. Let's talk about a ridiculously exciting card, Wild Bounty. Now, firstly, the fact that the image is just a 2-headed giraffe makes me pretty gosh darn happy. But secondly, it's got the same enhancement as Gloriana. It brings 2 amber bonuses into your deck. In that regard, it is exactly the same as Gloriana. By virtue of it being in your deck, there will be 2 amber bonuses in your deck. Could be on different cards, could be on the same cards. Here's the thing though. When you play it, the next time you play a card this turn, resolve each of its bonus icons an additional time. Oh. This could be broken. This could be ridiculous. Because let's say you get this with a Dust Pixie. You play this card, and then when you play Dust Pixie, you don't get 2 amber, you get 4 amber. That's kind of ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. And if you've got multiple bonus icons, you can resolve multiple bonus icons. Remember, up to 5 can fit on a card. We've literally been told that by the designers of the game. The designers of the game have told us explicitly, they've come out and said, there is a limit of 5 enhancements per card, because that is as much space as there is to put enhancements on the card. Which means somewhere out there, you know there is going to be a deck that has a couple of this card. They've got a couple copies of Wild Bounty, and then they've got a card with 5 enhancements. And they play it, and they get draw 1, 2 damage, 2 amber. But Wild Bounty lets you do it twice. This is another one of those cards that is massively, wildly situational. Because you've got to have it in your deck along with icons you want to resolve, i.e. it's not just, 1 bonus amber, because otherwise you play Wild Bounty for 1 bonus amber. Well, there's a million cards out there that give you a bonus amber and do other stuff. For Wild Bounty to work, you've really got to resolve multiple bonus icons. Doing 1 damage is not a good action card. Getting 1 amber is not a good action card. You need more. But if you can have Wild Bounty in a deck that's got a card with 3 or 4 enhancements, and you can draw them together, archiving will be your friend here, chuck Wild Bounty and the other card in there, you're going to be loving it. Now, of course, the other thing to bear in mind, this is an action card, so not only do you need to have good bonus icons in your deck, you need to have good bonus icons on an Untamed card, because you won't be able to play other cards on your turn without some kind of house cheating. But you know someone's going to get an Untamed card of a bunch of bonus icons and a couple copies of Wild Bounty, and that deck is going to be sought after. But like I've said, archiving is good. Whack them in your archive, pick them up at the same time, so that you can then play them together. Life is good. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of extra amber in this video and a key cheating card which looks amazing, but will almost never work. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these cards, so, let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk, well, all sorts, quite frankly. All sorts. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.